وآل محمد. Brothers, sisters, scholars, elders, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'd like to thank the Prophet, especially our lady for inviting me today to read for you guys, inshallah, and I'd love to read for you guys, but thank you, please everyone sit down as soon as possible so I can start reading. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. If the laws of normality have taught us anything, it's that Ali, even against all norms, will continue to trend. If the laws of normality have taught us anything, it's that Ali, even against all norms, will continue to trend. He trends and rises above all, embracing the beyond. And even when he does, he loves to numerically tend to be number one, the heaviest number of them all. The origin, the beginning, it does not need to lend this importance back to number one because it is one. The origin, the beginning, it does not need to lend its importance back to number one because it is one. Even if they call him four, even if they call him four, their scale, his weight would bend. He makes all other numbers look insignificant, giving them fear. They attend to their reputation. Men would call him fourth, 40th, 400th, call him fourth, 40th, 400th. He is the first, much like he is always the first that tends to grow and trends for Ali, you are the first. Ali, you are the first, and none can count you different. Ali, you are the first, and none can count you different. Even if they put you last, we'll just start counting from the end. So if you want to swerve the system, just to count him first. If you want to swerve the system, just to count him first. Blessings upon Muhammad wa ali Muhammad sent. Short poems about the commander of the faithful, Imam Ali alayhi salam. And I start by saying, in the world of love, they placed men unworthy of you as first. In the world of love, they placed men unworthy of you as first. So I counted backwards, and in my heart made first what they made last. I abandoned their rules in this world. I abandoned their rules in this world, for my love made its own rules. For your name around my heart it swirled. Each letter I saw as jewels. I was not asked who my heart would choose. I was not asked who my heart would choose. And your love, my heart, it fuels. Nor could your beauty, Ali, my heart refuse. Nor could your beauty, Ali, my heart refused. Left enthralled by you and your virtues. Why was to me no question, although my decision was met by objection? Why? I just could not answer. Does at all the lover know why he loves ever? Does at all the lover know why he loves ever? I was left enthralled, not knowing why I swayed from left to right. I was left enthralled, not knowing why I'd sway from left to right. But my heart was called, and with your love met its birth and its plight. I lived in certainty, yet confused, denied all, but to you led. The dreams I made for myself excused, for on my dreams you would tread. If I wanted love, my heart refused. For without your love, Ali, it bled, and I made you my infinite road. Powerless, I made you my abode. Why I no longer cared for questions unanswered. Your absence I despaired. Why became unimportant, and the question ancient for my heart I would present. It came to a stage where I'd sit and stand by saying your name. Ali, it came to a stage where I'd sit and stand with saying your name, and as passed away my age, my love, even to the death, I'd proclaim what began as but a child's crush What began as but a child's crush became strands of my soul. From but a rose grew a garden lush in which day and night I'd stroll. I uttered your name in words and in hush. I uttered your name in words and in hush. When speech I'd no more control, and though from age away I withered, I remained to you, that child tethered. Why a word long forgotten? For I learned to listen to what God has written. Why? And when I was buried, to the dead I storied of the love I carried, of the love I carried. I salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Poem, I shall take you very briefly in the limited time that we have from Imam Ali's life, from his birth to his death. From his birth to his death. This poem, if you listen to the poem that I read before, it focuses quite a lot on rhyming and syllables. This poem is a bit different because the end of every line of each verse sounds similar to the word before it. So basically the words are synonyms, and they focus on wordplay and homonyms, etc. So before I read this poem, and Ali's life, it starts with Rajab's moon halfway through its cycle. With Rajab's moon halfway through its cycle, Fatima Asad the Kaaba, she circles. By the pangs of sudden labor, she's encircled the beginnings of Ali, our leader. With the pains of birth for help, she prays, and the Kaaba opens for her in praise, whilst the envious eye upon her, it praise. The call of, oh, Ali soothes her labor. They see her emerge. They see her emerge, and they see the Kaaba close. They see her emerge and they see the Kaaba close. Muhammad receives Ali and holds him close, raises him in his house, and with his wisdom clothes him, bathing him in fear of his creator. Raised within the house of the Holy Prophet. Ali raised within the house of the Holy Prophet. From his wisdom firsthand, Ali, he would profit the belief in God. He first professed it, saying, I believe in God and his messenger. I believe battles are where Ali sought. I believe battles are where Ali sought. If you want to know Ali, look to his sword. Never has a true man been defined by his sword. Not through death, its life he will empower. And as a true poet with words with one sight, as a true poet with words with one sight, Ali, he'd say, Ali, in battle you are blessed with a lion's sight, yet your humility, who knows its length or sight? Off the battlefield, who knows who you are? Fearless on the battlefield, fearless on the battlefield, free of wounds. Till now, men seek vengeance as Ali their blood wound. And when his sword killed, it did not need to re-wound. And still they're fuming from God's own soldier. Or caught in the vice of Badr's harsh desert. Caught in the vice of Badr's harsh desert. Or Uhud, where ashamed was left the desert, when the Prophet, his own companions, would desert him, all of them except Haidar's sword and his honor. Or look back to history's great verses, when it was once Amr ibn Wid versus Ali, and about this poet still writes verses. He who wrestled lions killed by Karam, or the Jews of Khaybar. The Jews of Khaybar, they were scared to duel. The man who buried every man he would duel. Who would face a divine sword that has sharp ends? Duel, the sword that divides heaven and hellfire. One ponders on his mother, what she bred. One ponders on his mother, what she bred. What faith did she have when men like him she bred? A soldier who feasts on nothing but hardened bread, yet still has the strength to lift the door of Khaybar. And when God has put him first, who will put him forth? When God has put him first, who will put him forth? When to Muhammad God's command was brought forth, the embraces his demise, a devil's coalition come to demise the usurp of power and Islam's near demise. Devils are made in the lust for power. Wanting Ali, they shredded Ali's rose. Zahra on her tribulations they arose. Wanting Ali, they shredded Ali's rose. Zahra on her tribulations they arose. In the shape of a nail that on her womb arose and fell the best unborn for the best mother. And how can the heart not break for this tale? How can the heart not break for this tale? What patience, Ali, he who desires to tell all, to bring that man as to rip off the devil's tail, know that Ali's patience saved this oppressor. And when Ali became caliph, know that he worried about the poor and his state, and he ruled by justice. So the future, it would heed his lessons that leave all in wonder. He'd not differentiate. He kept peace. Both the Muslim and the Christian were a piece of Ali's encompassing justice that brought peace between men of all belief and color. Yet though justice upon his breast he wore, the envious against him they still waged war, and the age in Ali's eyes away it wore. Can a believer kill a believer? Can a believer kill a believer? He who history's pages he has read would see Jamal, and a mother who had read the death of her own sons with her hands colored red, she raised a sword against the Prophet's brother. If you want to know Ali, watch this scene when his army faced thirst they've not heard nor seen. If you want to know Ali, watch this scene when his army faced thirst they've not heard nor seen. Yet when Ali captured the water at Safin, he did not deny his enemy water. Yet despite what even justice to him bows, though he not let even an ant to him bow, those who hated Ali since Badr aimed their bows at justice embodied in his honor. And when long ago the heart within Ali died, they ask him, why your grey beard you haven't dyed? To which he answered, Muhammad said, it will be dyed by the blood of my skull and cursed be on my killer. A man sold his soul just for measly cents. His killer perfumed his sword with devil's scent. And Ali knew, just as the lion it would sense, but came the farewell to Islam's pillars. The man who through injustice he would wade the fate of death upon Ali. It was weighed and was decided with a touch of injustice. Weighed, injustice killed justice on that ponder. Injustice killed justice on that ponder. And as Ali's left to float on death's tides, his orphans sway left and right on unsure tides, as awaits them the pangs of thirst, as upon them the pangs of thirst and death are tied, as awaits them the land of Karbala, He who wants to know where we find our pride, men are jealous of our fortitude and our pride is Ali and his children. Our pride is Ali and his children. This can't be pride from our bones, from our blood, nor our nature. This is Ali, our pride, and he is our source of inspiration, our guide, and he is our salvation when we are judged. In that final hour, when each nation is brought with their leader, My final poem, which will not take too much of your time, I want to take you now to Najaf al-Ashraf and the grave of the commander of the faithful, so I want you to focus on me, but take your eyes away from me. Think of yourselves in front of the shrine of Ali in Najaf al-Ashraf. Because I'm entranced by Ali and entranced by his might. I'm entranced by Ali, entranced by his might. Like his battles stood in awe of his might. So I ask, you might grant me his visitation and allow me to stand in front of Ali, allowed to pledge my allegiance toward him, allowed. I beseech you, Lord, for but a chance. I beseech you, Lord, for but a chance. His visit, it comes so rarely. A chance, even though his name, my heart daily it chants. Even though he sleeps in my eyes, a rose. Even though he sleeps in my eyes, a rose. I wanted to draw him, so I crushed this rose. I drew him with his juices till he arose in me. His love scattered here like leaves. His love scattered here like leaves. My lungs became an autumn for his leaves. He teases me with his touch before he leaves, saying, come to Najaf as my guest. He says, come to Najaf as my guest. Ask your Lord to invite you as my guest. For how long have the taste of my scent you guessed? Till he disappears from me. Till he disappears from me. I groan, and moan, wishing to visit him. I groan when within his absence for too long I've grown. Too long have I been separate from him. Ali and my daily chores dream of him. My memories of his shrine sing me a hymn, telling me to get my things all packed. Telling me to get my things all packed, to buy my tickets and fly out, whilst packed are my things, so that I can renew my pact with Ali, and I long for his presence. Ali, and I long for his presence. My dreams take my soul, and to him it presents this soul with my heart and my mind as but presence. For too long do I dream of the rays of the ancient sun of Najaf. For too long do I dream of the rays of the ancient sun of Najaf, its rays gently touching my skin. I raise my hands toward my Lord. I raise my hands toward my Lord and his throne. Oh Lord, all hope of returning I've thrown away like a child, but to see his throne. I want you to see my Lord. I want you to see my Lord and weigh your decision about my prayer your way, as you do, O Lord, as you do with all I ask. You weigh the options, but just know that the weight of this weight is killing me. Just know that the weight of this weight is killing me. Its weight sits on my back, crushing me, but still I wait, I dream. I dream, and so secretly, per hour, Lord, grant me this, I whisper. Per hour, I raise my hands, a prayer of might and power. Take me back, fly me over those seas. If I'm not there, I'm drowning in these seas. For my eye, but Najaf and Ali, it sees. For my eye, but Najaf and Ali, it sees. Lord, grant me the visit of Ali, my master. Lord, grant me the visit of Ali, my master. Wassalamu alaikum.